What's going on, everybody? Mike McIntyre here from All Things Sports, back with a brand new review, and this one is Ultra. That was a terrible line. What's going on, everybody? Mike McIntyre here from All Things Sports, back with a brand new video, and this is another Puma review. I have a couple of Puma boots that I've picked up, and people have been asking me to do reviews on them forever. I finally have the Puma Ultra 1.1. I've had a lot of requests to do a review on these, and I finally get my hands on them. This is the original launch colorway because it was the only one that I could get. Let's unbox it, let's get into it. Now, I know the Puma Ultra has been out for a while. Like I said, I just haven't been able to get my hands on them until now. There have been a few colorways. I'm a fan of the black and pink one that came out, just because I really like that colorway. But this is the launch colorway. So we lift open the lid. We have boot number 1. There it is, Puma Ultra 1.1. And let's get boot number 2 out. Puma Ultra 1.1. Now, there are no extras in the box. You only get the boots themselves, but these look really, really good. Now, quickly, the Puma Ultra replaces the Puma One, and the Puma One replaced the Puma Evo Speed. The Evo Speed was a huge, huge boot from Puma. A lot of people liked them. It was their kind of speed boot, and then they rebranded it into the Puma One, and I'll be very honest, the last one, the Puma 5.1, looked really, really good, and I was very interested in getting a pair. I got a pair. I have the Manchester City version of the Puma One, and I liked it. I really, really liked it. And then when I got them on feet and I got my pair, I was a little disappointed. They didn't fit the way I expected them to. There was this weird seam that they put right here on the lateral side of the boot that kind of got in the way of your toe box area, and you felt it on the inside of the boot. So I was a little disappointed with the Puma One, the 5.1 version. And then these came out to replace those. And so far, it seems like they've done a really good job. Now, there's a few things that are new with this boot, so I'm going to try and explain it in this review. Puma have introduced this Matrix Evo technology. So it's the upper material, and it's essentially a bunch of different yarns that they've used that are individually coated to make up this new Matrix Evo material. So you get a very unique feel. It doesn't really feel like a knit like some of the other knits. It is a yarn material, but because of the way they've coated each yarn and because of the way they kind of stitch it together, it has a unique feel about it. There's like this kind of textile feel to it. And then they put this Grip Control Pro coating over this kind of toe box area right here. To me, it feels like that same kind of waxy material they put on the Puma Future. So I have no problems with that, but they say they put this thin coating on top of it. But the real thing about this is that upper. Again, it feels like a very, very unique textile material. It's super thin and it's one layer. That's one of the big selling points. It's not like they've had an internal layer, a knit, a coating on top, and then this padded feel. They don't do that. It's one layer of yarn that they knit together to make the Puma Ultra. And the result is a very, very light boot. Really reminds me of the Addy Zeros, to be honest, in terms of its feel and its lightness and all of that. You have this kind of Evo knit material up here. We're familiar with that because Puma have used that on other boots, so that looks pretty decent. And it just looks like it's a really, really good speed boot. The sole plate is kind of similar to what we see from a bunch of other brands. It is an FG-AG stud pattern according to Puma. The only thing I'm not a big fan of is the shape of the studs. Surprise, surprise. They are these kind of chevron shaped studs in this forefoot area, and it just reminds me of Mercurial Vapors, and they're really not that forgiving. You can't really pivot with them. They are good for, I guess, accelerating and going forward, but I'm just not the biggest fan of this chevron shaped stud. So that is not at least my ideal stud pattern. But overall, the sole plate itself looks really good. It's flexible where it needs to be. It's stiff where it needs to be. I like the external heel counter, so I don't really have any complaints about the sole plate. It's just the studs themselves that I wish were conical, but overall, they do offer a good job. So again, selling point is definitely going to be that upper material. We're going to have to see how it fits and feels on feet. And let's move on to that part of the video to talk about that. Alright guys, so slipping the boot on for the very first time, my first impressions are that it's quite good. It will need a little bit of time to break in though. My first impression, because it is kind of a very thin layer of yarn and it's one layer, I think that it's going to take a little bit longer to break in because the upper is actually kind of stiff. So it's not the most flexible upper. It's not going to hurt the boot in any way, I don't think, but it just isn't as flexible as the kind of upper that you'll get on the Puma Future, for example. That one from right out of the box, it's super soft and very flexible. So it's kind of hard to describe, but when you bend your foot, it doesn't kind of hug and curve with the contours of your foot as naturally as some of the other materials. So while it's super thin, super light, and actually quite comfortable from right out of the box, it's just not as flexible of an upper, and that is due to the nature of the upper and it being a little bit more of that kind of textile material rather than something that is really soft and flexible. It really does feel good. It is a pure speed boot. It's super light. It does feel very, very thin on your foot. And to be honest, it's probably one of the few speed boots on the market that will actually accompany a wide foot. So I have a wide foot and I'm not struggling to get in this thing for the first time. I can barely get a vapor on and have a real hard time with the new Adizero Ghosted models. I do think that the vapor and the Adizero, or the Ghosted, has a slightly more flexible upper, but I'd argue that this one's actually more comfortable for somebody like me. And I do like the opening as well. I like the shape of the opening to get your foot in, and it fits really, really well. There is a little bit of a pressure point again, just on the widest part of your foot where your big toe kind of connects to your foot. And again, I think it's down to the nature of the upper, just being a little less flexible from right out of the box because it is that textile material. So other than that, you could go true to size and just give it a little bit of time to soften up because I think the boot's gonna need it. But go true to size and I think you'll find them to fit really, really well. So that's it. Let's send it back to the desk and we'll wrap the video up. So there you have it, guys. There's my review of the new Puma Ultra 1.1. I'm a big fan of it, actually. I think it's a really solid upgrade. Because the Puma One was a little bit disappointing, I think this is gonna offer a lot of people something very appealing from Puma. If you like the Future, I'm a huge fan of the Future. That would be my #1 choice. But this is a really, really good option for someone that's interested in a speed boot that needs something a little bit wider and a little bit more comfortable than the Mercurial or the new Ghosted model from Adidas. So that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think down below. Please smash the like button if you enjoyed the video. And of course, hit that subscribe button. We gotta get this channel bigger. I need you guys. I need your support. So please hit that subscribe button, hit the little bell, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Mike McIntyre, All Things Sports, sign off for now. Take care until the next one. Peace.